Day before yesterday I was with the PM, I was telling him that future plan for integration of various systems. So he said, आप सब लिख के मुझे दे दीजिएगा, मैं सोच के बाद में आपको बुलाऊंगा. So you have to do, this is a very important thing. What I do is, first thing, do you know what we do? This is my plan which I have been practicing. You must have a nurse trained to make a diagnosis first. In every taluka hospital we must have a modern medical man, because modern medicine is also important for quick fixes. You can't throw it out. If the water is bad in modern medicine, you can't throw the baby in the bathtub also out. Keep the water only out, get fresh water. So modern medicine, Ayurveda, Naturopathy, Unani, and all other systems, homeopathy, everyone. Each one will be a consultant there. Basic degree, MBBS, or a BA, HMS, or whatever. And they all sit around the table in the outpatient department at Taluka Hospital. Patient comes first, the nurse classifies the patient. There are what beautiful nurse practitioner training is there in the Western countries. Today, a nurse can do a biopsy, nurse can do endoscopy, nurse can look into various things, and nurse can even prescribe medicines. You require 1 year's extra training, what's called nurse practitioner. We train our nurses for 6 months. I've got a training course. This girl will sit there, and when a patient comes, she will classify the patient. There are various types of patients. Now, what is important is 1% of patients, remember that, require Western, high-tech, modern medicine. Like for example, somebody has a heart attack, somebody is collapsed, somebody has a stroke, somebody has diabetic coma. They require high-tech quick fixes just to tide them over. For long-term case, diabetes doesn't get treated with Western medicine. But for a quick diabetic coma to come out, you require that. Somebody has a heart attack, to save him at that time, you require modern medicine. But long-term treatment of coronary artery disease can be any system. So what she does is, she filters that 1% and sends it to the Western medical patient. The 99% remaining patients, 90% of them are called minor illness syndromes. You just sit in a open hospital outpatient, large hospital outpatient, 90% of them are minor illness syndromes, only 4 diseases. Common cold, feverish cold, sore throat, flu-like illness. You in the MBBS class were not taught about these 4. I can take a bet. But you are taught about coronary arteries, the end arteries, whether they are end arteries, whether their collaterals are there, whether they can communicate or not. What does it matter? Whether it's adenocarcinoma, anaplastic, metastatic, what does it matter? Every cancer is metastatic. It is already metastasized before you see it in an organ. 50% of the ductal carcinoma in situ is not cancer at all. 100% of the follicular cancers in the thyroid in young girls is not cancer at all. Half the so-called prostatic cancers are not cancer at all. These are all what are called incidentalomas. Incidentally you find it because you have got scanning. Scanning is a curse. We all didn't know. If you don't know scanning, you don't know you've got a cyst in the ovary. But when you go for a scanning, the doctor will say, there is a cyst in the ovary. Is there any woman without a cyst in the ovary? Just imagine the physiology. Every month a ovum comes out and it doesn't become a fetus. Sometimes it doesn't come out, it remains there. It becomes a cyst. But what does the scanner say? Don't worry, you have a scan, it's okay. As you are living, he'll say, but occasionally it can become a cancer. You are dead. Such ridiculous things we do because we go too far into it. Remember that? Today the new disease. Every girl who works in IT industry has got PCOD. And PCOD is polycystic ovarian disease. Then what is it? It is in the mind. You must be in the IT industry to know how difficult it is to be in the IT industry in India. Because you are meant to work for 3 persons. There is no time limit, not 9 to 5. And you got to work so hard, all the time looking at that idiot box called the computer. You can't even look this way, that way. You have no exercise at all. For your information's sake, sitting for 1 hour, doing nothing, is more dangerous than smoking for the heart's health. Today, sitting is supposed to be more dangerous than smoking. And walking for 1 hour is probably the best tonic for your heart. But we don't tell people about this. And a lot of us think sitting is good. If you go to American IT industry, boys and girls don't sit, they stand and do it. And even standing, they can't stand still. There's a slow moving belt underneath. So if you don't move, you will fall down. So this is what we don't do. And we kill our children. Just tension. And then PCOD. One girl came to me about 10 years ago, PCOD. You know, she was about 90 kilos. She was like a football. And not menstruating at all and things like that. So I told her and her obsessive mother, you want your daughter to be alright? She said, yes. Ask her to resign her job. She said, doctor, she's getting a lakh of rupees. I said, how many lakhs she has collected so far? And how many you have spent on doctors now? You collect all those lakhs and give it all to the corporate hospitals. Are you happy? This girl left her job. And today she is a specimen of good health. She still has got a good job. She has almost got a lakh of rupees pay. But she has absolutely no problem. This is where we fail. So the nurse says, this is minor illness syndrome. I can bet most of you won't know the difference between common cold and feverish cold. Let us see. It's very simple. Anybody? What's the difference between common cold and feverish cold? See, this is our medical education, the topsy-turvy medical education. We teach uncommon diseases where money can come in a very detailed, over-detailed fashion. We don't teach ordinary diseases, and people suffer more because of ordinary diseases. Do you know, on a given day in Europe, in winter, 50 million people cannot go to work because of a simple disease called feverish cold. 50 million people. And sick absenteeism of 50 million people is economic liability to the whole nation. And today what we do? Feverish cold. He comes to the very arrogant modern doctor. He sits there. Oh, don't worry. You have a viral fever probably. I will give you an antibiotic. You will be alright. Do you know what he has done? 3 things he has done. A, he doesn't know whether it is viral fever because he has not seen the virus. If an Ayurvedic doctor says this is something, he will say, where is the proof? Where is evidence? And where is your evidence? Doctors predicting the unpredictable future of patients is a nice study for all of you. Write down. Doctors predicting the unpredictable future of patients. It's in the BMJ. Write down. It's written by a scientist, William John Firth. And this is in the BMJ, year 1991, volume 303, and page is 1565. Please read this. Read it 10 times. Then all your ego will melt down. Whatever you predict is wrong. And this is because there is no future prediction in science. They say today there will be heavy rains in Mangalore, according to the prediction. It will certainly not rain today, it will rain tomorrow. This is called unpredictable future of patients. And this the scientists are calling as butterfly effect. Because they don't say we are wrong. They have another hypothesis. Edward Lorenz, who found out how to predict weathers, after finding out that the weather prediction never comes true, propounded a hypothesis called butterfly effect. Do you know what he said? After I put all my data into my supercomputer, if a butterfly moves its wings in Beijing in China, disturbing the air, that can compound with the Lyapunov effect into a storm in New York after 1 month, which I can't calculate. In Kobe in Japan, they have the best meteorological laboratory. Even seconds before that huge earthquake which killed half the population of Kobe, nobody knew. It just came. So friends, let us be humble first. So the nurse will say, okay, this is feverish cold. The best treatment for that is either homeopathy or probably ginger and garlic, and she will send it to the homeopath. See how much money you have saved? In France, they started a 100-bedded Chinese hospital. The NHS cost has come down by 50%. Because all the minor illness syndromes go to the Chinese hospital. So otherwise they would have come to the main hospital. And 4 things if you do for keeping health. A, clean drinking water. Clean drinking water. 40% of the hospital beds can be closed. 3 square meals, uncontaminated human and or animal excreta, 10% gone. Proper nutrition, another 10% gone. And good air, smokeless chula, so that the woman doesn't get the smoke into the house with the carbon monoxide. And then you just have some economic empowerment of ladies in the village. Today a man earns, drinks and eats and comes home with empty stomach, empty pocket. So the lady can sleep without food. but she can't see children sleeping without food. Looking at your own child who is compelled to sleep without food kills you of a heart attack. Did you know that? The biggest problem of heart attack is not cholesterol, but the mind. Not knowing where your next meal comes from kills you left, right and center. There is a large study done in England or industries. The managing directors rarely get a heart attack. The chairman hardly gets heart attack. But the man on the floor who has no control about his life's economy, he gets a heart attack. Managing director can manage, he has a lot of money. The poor man doesn't know how much money he will earn and how much he will need for family and him. That kills him. In short, your mind is the cause of all diseases. And where is the mind? Where is the mind? Let us see. All the MBBS, MD doctors, where is the mind? Anyway, let me tell you. Where is the mind? Never mind. But the mind is not in the brain. Remember that. Mind is not in the brain. The man who found out that the mind is in the brain and got a Nobel Prize for that, Wilder Penfield, is the same man who in 1971 wrote a paper, I am sorry for saying the mind is in the brain, and mind cannot be in an organ. Mind is not, one thought cannot be in the brain. Forget about it. In spite of 1 billion cells and 1 trillion neuron synapses, it is consciousness. The whole world has one mind and you have your mind called individual consciousness. That is how you and I are connected. That's how a good teacher knows which student is cheating in the class. If you're a good teacher, know the students very well, you know exactly what a student is doing in the class. And this is very interesting. There's a nice book for all of you to read, for evening reading. Scientific book by one of the greatest scientists in Cambridge. And this book is called Dogs Know When the Owners Are Coming Home.